Hey everyone, this is Alex. Today we're going to show you how to do backups of your entire machine, or a piece of it if you want. Although that I'm going to show the steps A to Z, how to do it on Windows 10, well, the theory also works with macOS and Time Machine. And the physical part also works with macOS and Time Machine. More on that later. So you want to back up your machine or part of it. So of course you can use a Microsoft Cloud solution to back up your space or your documents, but you can't actually save your entire machine. Let's say your hard drive crashed, you change it, and then what now? You can't do anything. Because even if our drives are now mostly SSDs, which are drives that will break a little bit less often, well, they still break, unfortunately. So first thing first, in our case, we will use an external drive. So I have two samples here. In the right corner, we have a traditional hard drive that goes into your machine. And on the left side, we have, this is actually a laptop drive that I used for about a week. And I changed it for an SSD in my laptop. This works too, but we need to attach them. So we can't use Wi-Fi, right? So we need something else. And here we go. So we have a USB 3 type A to a SATA port, which is used for the hard drive. If you actually open your computers and look up this plug, you won't actually find it because it's actually two wires. This is actually mostly made for external hard drive instead of internal hard drives. So we just have to plug it like this. There are actually different solutions for this. As long as you have the SATA ports, and basically sometimes you have bays, so the bay will actually stand on your desk, and this is actually pretty much mostly useful for this because you can just slide it in the bay, and the bay will be also USB 3 or some are Thunderbolts. And on the USB side, well, it's important to know that you need USB 3 or more, because if you get, these actually exist in USB version 2, but you won't be able to use the full speed of your hard drive. Even if this is a slow hard drive, USB 3 is the pretty much minimum that I would recommend. So you can choose either this adapter, which might be a little bit more cumbersome for some, and the bay may be more for an office. This one, of course, is cheaper. Depends on your needs, right? So plug it in. In this case, we can hear the sound of the Windows, which has a device plugged. And this one has pretty much something interesting that you can actually see where if the hard drive has power and if there is the data connection, and it's gonna flash when some data is gonna be transferred. Let's put it here for now, but it's plugged. I'm gonna pass my hand here. This is getting cumbersome, right? That's why sometimes a bay would be better for someone. Next step, we need Veeam agent for Microsoft Windows Free, which we will download. So you go to the web page. I've put the link below if you want to use that. There are other solutions, but I'm gonna show you how easy it is with this one, and it's free for private and commercial use. Don't tell them it's free, maybe they forgot about it. And yeah, now the reason why it's free, it's obviously because if you grow, or let's say you have multiple machines and you back them all up, you back them up on a server, or you have multiple servers, and they do offer some solutions when you have a bigger space, bigger data, and the prices are actually reasonable. So check out the other stuff if you need them. So you click on download, you enter your infos. Oh, that's new. You can actually sign in or register with your social account now. And after that, you'll be able to download it. You're going to download a zip file, just extract it, and there we go. This is the install. So let's go. And this is not the fastest machine, so I'll make a few cuts. So you need to restart before installing this. Let's do it. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna drink my green stuff. Accept the terms. Installed. Oh yeah, it's starting the service, and that's a good point. You can actually, let's say, back up the entire machine and not worry about who's gonna log in on the machine or not. Because this is just a demonstration, I will not run the recovery media, but in your case, if you're doing the entire machine, you should. But if you just want to back up a folder, you can actually skip this step. But the question is, what is a recovery media? Let's say that your hard drive stopped working. you do have your backup on your external drive. When your hard drive is replaced, you come back with your new hard drive, plugged in the USB key, boot it up with the USB key, and it's going to ask you, where is your data? You just have to plug your USB drive, and it's going to pull everything out of this and it's going to put it back, including your Windows 10, so your thing will be exactly the same. Very awesome. All right, in our case, let's continue. And that's it for the initial setup. Next step. So we have installed it, and on the icon on the tray, on the system tray, my system tray is up. Don't worry about it. Usually that's down, right? So you go into your notification tray and you look it up, and it's right here. Backup settings are not configured. So double click on that. Oh, it's already scanning. That's interesting. First question, this installation operates in free mode. That's fine. Would you like to install a license file? In our case, we want to stay in the free mode, put it inside. So in our case, no. Job Noir 17. So Noir is my laptop. We can call it whatever. Let's say it's your niece laptop. You can write niece laptop, working machine, whatever it is. But by default, it's gonna take the machine name. Next, like I said before, what do you want to back up? The entire machine or a volume level backup? That's if you have multiple hard drives. In the laptop, it's pretty rare that you're gonna have multiple hard drives. In a workstation, you could have multiple hard drives. In our case, we're gonna do a file level backup because we just want to do a small demo. So let's go over here. So he's asking, which file do you want to back up? So I want that folder, which is fine. So next, the destination is where do you want to send those files you're gonna back up? In our case, it's gonna be here. So local storage, that's pretty local to me. And the description is actually very helpful. Choose this option to back up to a locally attached storage device such as USB. There you go. Backing up to internal hard drives is not recommended. You should not back up to 2 hard drives in the same machine. Why not? Well, these are the golden rules of backup. And if you want to learn about those golden rules, just click here and you'll have all the rules. That's actually new. You can actually back up to Microsoft OneDrive if you want, which is a good solution. But for now, local storage. Next up. So I know that this drive is called NTFS empty, and it's gonna put it right here, but it's gonna create a subfolder with the name of the job that we have on the name tab. Keep backup for 7 days. To make it simple, when you have the device, the folder, you can click next. That's a simple explanation. But what if you want to keep more than 7 days? Because right here, it's written 7 days. Does that mean that it's actually going to back up 7 days and then destroy everything? Well, kind of. Well, it means exactly that. It's going to keep your files for 7 days. So it's backing up every day, everything is going fine. But let's say you delete a file, then you empty your trash can, and 15 days later, you tell yourself, oh, I need that file. Well, if it's at 7 days, you can't get it back. So what I suggest to people is actually to keep the 7 days. After 7 days, just check out the reports to see if your hard drive is full or not, because you can't know how much data you're gonna send in here. Obviously, if you take your entire machine, that's one thing. But if you only get a folder, it could be long before you fill up your entire hard drive. So you could raise that number easily. Next up, schedule. When do you want to do that backup? So you can do it when you lock your machine, right? When you press Windows key and L. That's a cool option. Every time you lock, or every time the machine lock itself, you could say backup every 2 hours. Cool. Every time you log off, because you can log off and the machine will still continue to run, right? Good option too. I prefer the daily one. So daily at some time. In my case, my machine is always on, so that's not a problem. But let's say that you tell yourself, I close my machine at 6 p.m. every day, and that's it. It doesn't really matter what you put here because there's this line here, down here, backup once powered on. So when the machine is gonna boot up, it's gonna start the backup immediately. Apply. We can change the power plan setting to allow daily backup to wake up this computer from sleep. That's an option. So in my case, I'm gonna say no, but it's a good option. And then you have the summary, finish. You can see that the logo now has a timer. If you put your mouse over it, it's gonna tell you, hey, I'm gonna start at that time, depending on which time you said and what day. So let's double click on that. So let's go, back up now. You can actually check out the status. So let's go double click on that. because usually your backup is running, it's like that, right? And you see the little logo here, animates. It's gonna tell you the progress. This is not a fast PC, so we're gonna let it run. And I'm gonna drink my green juice. Boom, it's done. So that was sort of fast, all things considered. So obviously now you're gonna have this logo is gonna be updated for the next backup. So let's double click here, and you can see the details, how much data it is, how much free disk space there is. We're gonna recover a file right away just to test it. Let's remove that. Well, that's one of the files that I actually backed up, so let's remove it. I hope that's the correct folder. Delete. Let's delete the trash can. Oh my god, where's my file? Cat. So we're gonna go back in the software and bring it back. So I'm gonna right click here, restore. It's gonna be a file, exactly. File level restore, what do you want to do? Let me show you. Oh, he actually detected my hard drive connected right away. He actually sees my job, which is right there. Exactly, next. So restore point. If you have multiple days, you're gonna see a full list of days. And you're gonna say, for example, I want to go 10 days before, 100 days before. So in our case, we just did a test, so let's go for that. Yes, I'm gonna open that, and it's actually going to look the files on the hard drive and open up the files because they are compressed, right? And show us what he sees. Please wait. He sees all the folders. Let's go inside. There's the file I want. So I can copy to, which is pretty cool. We're gonna do restore here. Let's just go keep. I don't think he's gonna rename it. Oh, right away. So he's gonna question the hard drive, starting the copying, restore completely successful. So let's close, and the file is there, it's back. Nothing to say, we saved the day. So this can be useful for pictures, for your entire hard drive, for your whole collection of something, anything goes. For what it gives, free, it's awesome. And like I said, don't tell them, don't remind them that it's free. So what do I do, for example, for my main machine? I use the free version to send all of these files on my disk that are attached to the network, and I have another software to send my backup to the cloud. Hopefully this was useful. Subscribe, like the video, share the video. Maybe someone you know do not have any backups. That's dangerous. See you in the next video. Hey everyone, this is, oh wait, forgot that. And if you only want to back up a folder, you can skip this. And if you want just to back up a folder, you can actually skip this. Step. Let's do that again. Now let's repeat that differently. For real, I actually met those guys, I know how to write it. I'm gonna change my word.